Hi, I'm Crystal Reiki Healer, aka Athena Bowery, and today I'm going to show you how to make a crystal grid. Now, a lot of you have given me some great feedback on this, and I know it's probably easier just to see me do it rather than have me talk about it. So for today's video, we're going to do it a little differently, where I'll be talking you through it all, but I'm going to show you with my hands and how I make my grids on my table. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions at the end of this, please go ahead and just drop them in the comments, and I will do my best to get back to you. I'm going to show you how to make a crystal grid using a couple different shapes. One will be like a circle, and then we'll also do a triangle, and then I'll show you how to do a mini grid for those of you who just have like those little crystals, and maybe you've been thinking, oh, they're not big enough, I can't make a grid. You totally can. So I'm going to show you how to do just even a little mini one, and if any of you have ever ordered any of those crystal healing bottles, the water bottles, those are great. They come with a whole bunch of little pieces that you can use either for your grid itself, or you can use those little stones as amplifiers, and I'm going to show you just how to do that. You don't need to have a ton of crystals to do this. Even having 5 or 6 is really all you need. And if you'd like to incorporate some other elements like rosemary or sage or seashells, or even rocks from like a special place that you've recently visited, you're totally welcome to do that too. The key to any crystal grid is really your intention. So you want to hold that intention in your mind just as you would for any other ritual, whether it be love or health or abundance, money, that new job, protection over your home or yourself. These are all ideas that you can use as a focus. When I do my private crystal Reiki healings, I will use a person's photograph to place at the center of their grid, and that just creates, I use all of the crystals around them, and this pulls in that energy that they need with themselves as a photograph representing them being the focus. So you can do this too if you have a loved one that's not doing well or is sick. You can totally take a photograph of them and use them as the center focus. Instead of using, a big crystal, you can use a photograph and then do your crystals around that. So I'm going to show you just how I do it, and remember to have fun with it. Enjoy. Like this is one of the tools for our spiritual practices, and make it fun. So for this grid, what I'm going to do is create one for love. Love being the highest vibration. This one is always really nice for bringing in that love for either yourself or a loved one, or just overall raising your vibration. So you'll want to start with a nice smooth surface. This can either be on a table, like I use, it can be on the ground outside, it can be at your dining room table, it can be on your bedside table, it can be on the floor around you. Wherever you feel guided to place your grid, that is totally fine. As for the length of time, this can be overnight, it can be for an hour before you have a dinner party, and during these times, maybe not a dinner party, but a dinner with one of your friends. So we'll start with this one with a center stone of a rose quartz. So this is one of my favorite beauties here. If you don't have one this size, that's really okay. So for this one, I'm going to start with this one in the center, and I think we'll do a circle one. Sometimes I'll decide which shape I want to use after I have already started placing this grid. I will use these heart-shaped stones to incorporate healing for our chakras and bring in some self-love to all of our energy centers. I'm just going to place them around here, and you can totally move them around to suit your mood, to suit the size, the amount of crystals that you have. I love some red tourmaline, kind of offers that protection along with a sense of love. So I'll place that here at the bottom, and then you see I'm going to have to move these out a little bit which is totally fine. I'll use my amethyst here at the top, bringing that love into my third eye. And nope, I'm gonna bring that one over here actually. See, look, things are already changing. And I'm gonna bring in my selenite heart for the top of our grid. I hope you guys are able to see this okay. So once I place my the stones that I want to use around, and I'm short one heart because of course there's 7 chakras. So I'm going to bring in my smoky quartz heart here as well. Also with a focus on love, protection, and grounding. And then once I have these set up, I mean literally if we were to take all of these aside, this would be enough for your grid if you wanted to stop there. I, of course, like to elaborate with my grids, so I'm going to add some more energy in there. And what I mean by energy is I'm going to amplify this. So for amplifying, I like to use these clear quartz points. They're not too hard to find, although I have ordered some that ended up from Amazon that ended up coming and they were a bunch of glass and not clear quartz. So that can happen too. Just make sure you're buying from a reliable seller, maybe somebody you've bought from before. It helps if it's somebody who understands how crystals work. And then I'm gonna have that point out at each of my heart stones here. And then you can see, we'll do this. Let's get some more long ones here. And this one is gonna be our circle grid, which is beautiful, with a center of love. And let's see if we can get some more big ones here. There we go. And one more just to make it nice and even. And we'll add that baby in there. Okay, so now I have a whole bunch of clear quartz, which is going to amplify the energy. Now, if you don't have these longer points, that's okay. These little ones I have here work really well as amplifiers too. I think I got these actually in one of those like crystal water bottles. So those are really nice to place around. You can do it however you feel calls to you. There is no wrong, there is no right. After you place them, you're welcome to move them around a little bit. Find a shape that works better for you. Let's see, let's add in, since I've used all my rose quartz and I have some more here. Let's use some of these to fill in these little spots. Here we go. And like I said, if you don't want to use or you don't have a rose quartz for a center for love and you want to use it for a person, you can also place a photograph there, which I'll put one right here. This is my little earth angel, and if you can see that okay. So I'll place her right here. It's not going to stay, but what we can do is move that baby out, and I can put my little earth angel in the center. And then this way you are drawing in the love around the person that you are placing in the center. So here we'll fill in these little bits still here, and I'm just gonna kind of move these around. Kind of nice to always have it kind of even, as symmetrical as you can. It doesn't need to be perfect. There is no perfect, and yet all is perfect. So don't stress so much about that part. In fact, if this is all you have, just this little bit right here is also a really nice grid. And you can either, again, use a picture, or you can use a center stone, or you can do both. Whatever suits your fancy. Now, because I like to do kind of bigger grids, I'm gonna add in some more rose quartz up here. And this one is a rose quartz seer stone that I really like a lot. Helps you see from a place of love, speak from a place of love, and just really, open that third eye so that everything that you're doing is from a place of love. And then I have some rhodochrosite. This one is really nice for healing those emotional wounds, maybe from childhood or even past life, if that is your belief. This one is desert rose. Desert rose is really nice for that self-worth, self-value. So I always like to incorporate those in my grids that are about love, because you do have to value yourself as well. And then I love jade. Jade brings in the love of your ancestors, which I think is just always nice because they have like the purest love, right? And then I have some malachite. Malachite also is wonderful for that heart healing and healing from old wounds. Of course, I like aventurine. I've really been feeling green aventurine this month, especially with all the Virgo energy and bringing in that abundance, as well as heart healing and money. And then, well, those happen to be next to each other. This is also a green aventurine crystal there, the heart shape. Moonstone, bring in that goddess energy. Don't forget who you are, ladies. You are goddesses. And then we've got this one here. Now, rhodochrosite, just to give you an example, this stone is typically very small. I was shocked actually when I had ordered it off of Etsy and it came, I think I paid, it was quite a bit, like maybe $20 for this like little tiny piece. But the energy of it is not dependent on the size. And anytime I'm feeling a little bit, like, oh, it's not enough, I wish I had a bigger piece, I, again, will add in those lovely crystal quartz amplifiers. Crystal quartz is wonderful as an amplifier. It's kind of like a big boost to whatever energy you were using. And then what I like to do is I like to add some pieces around my stones, just on the ends there. That also helps amplify that energy. And you can see this grid is already getting quite large, as mine tend to do, but don't feel pressure. You do not need a large grid, which I will show you in a moment. Now, all the time that I am placing these, I want you to remember to keep your focus on love. Now, since my center stone is this rose quartz and my little earth angel here, as I place my crystals, each time I place one down, it is with the intention of love for that person I have in mind, or for bringing love into my life. So keep that focus while you are creating your grid. And then these points again, I'm gonna just bring those. We're just gonna add a few more. Like, let's just make it pretty, make it fun. Again, you can always shift things around. Nothing has to be set in stone. You are welcome to make shifts as you feel called to. I do like to have each crystal kind of point, especially the amplifiers, pointing out away from the crystals. That kind of draws the love from them, the energy from them, out into the atmosphere or out towards the person that I am focusing on. Let's see, and then now we've got all of these, and let's do a nice big one up here at the top. 3 is a wonderful number, and so you will see, if you book a reading, you will see a healing, I will often create these 3 points here, which are really nice, amplifying the energy with the Ascended Masters. So always nice to have that guidance. And then here we go. Now that I have created the grid, I will take a moment to put some lovely Reiki energy in there. Of course, that is my way. That does not need to be yours. And this just kind of amplifies that energy even more, giving Reiki our universal energy of love and of light, and this just kind of helps seal it all in. And then now we have this beautiful, what's turned out to be a large circle crystal grid. Now remember that intention is key. So let's say you've got all this love around here now, and you really like your shape, so you don't want to start over, right? That's totally fine. What you can do is then add, and I'm going to take her out of here just so you can see my grid a little clearer. And what I will do here is, let's say I want to change my focus. So I will change my focus here to that of protection. And now my intention is not only with protection for the tourmaline, but to protect the love that I have around me. That's going to be my intention for this one. Now again, you can alter this to however suits your mood. But love and protection, those are always really nice ones to go with. Now, because I do a lot of healing work and physical healing with that, I do heart healing as well, obviously, but I will work on people's physical health a lot with Reiki. And I find that green calcite is a really wonderful stone for physical healing. So when I am working with someone who has some physical ailment, let's say they have migraine headaches, but they're also dealing with, let's say, some back issues with their bones. Appetite is really nice for bone. I use that one and continue to use that one for myself after I had my back surgery. So for this one, I will use a triangle shape. And when I'm working with a person, I will put their photograph here in the center. And then we'll have the green calcite up at the top. And a triangle, you don't have to have a center stone in here. You can have those 3 points of focus if that's what you want to choose to use. So for this one, let's say we have physical healing, we have migraines. Lapis lazuli is really nice for that. Amethyst is also really nice for that. It just depends on what works for you, what you prefer. In fact, let's just use amethyst since it's a very common stone and many of us start with that one. And let's bring it up here so you can see that better. Perfect. So here we're going to make the top stone will be kind of like your center stone. This is your major point of focus because you want to bring healing to your head. You want to bring healing to your bones or your back. And then what I will do is I'm going to have to make this smaller since I'm going to do a smaller grid here. I will use my amplifiers like this, and I will have them point, these 2 side ones, I'll have them point up towards my point of focus, which here is healing. And then in the bottom, it's really up to you whether you want to go clockwise or counterclockwise. Counterclockwise is kind of drawing energy out, and clockwise is kind of drawing energy in. But you know, again, it's a triangle, so any way you shift it, they're all going to be pointing towards here. So I will do that. And then I like to add my amplifiers to the side here. Let's see if I'm doing this straight enough for you guys. There we go. And again, I like to have those 3s here at the top. So I will have my focus here, and this is going to be a small grid, but it's just to give you an idea of how to create a grid yourself. And if you would like to place a picture or something that is meaningful to you or meaningful to someone or reminds you of someone here in the center, you can do that as well. Now, because we are doing healing, I'm going to add my 3 points here. Which I think is, I don't know, I'm really drawn to this. You can do whatever you feel called to. I like the number 3. I'm very drawn to it in my healing work. And then I have these little chips of green calcite that I will add around to the base, like this. And let's see, and then, you know, this seems very simple to me. So we're dealing with headaches, so I'm gonna add in some amethyst points, again, to amplify this energy. I love amethyst, I love amplifiers. They're so great for adding that extra boost of energy. And then we can place some here at the top like this. There we go. And then, boom, you have a very simple but very powerful healing grid. I use a small angel statue that I got, I picked up at I don't even remember where I picked it up, but I just adore having the angel energy or something that represents angel energy. And so I will always have her close to where my grids are. And then I can always add some more amplifiers in there. You can do this too if you feel called to. And then, you know, before you know it, you suddenly have a very elaborate crystal grid, which is what I have done here. And you know what? We're just gonna place that little earth angel in the center again. There we go. And now you will want to start again with a nice clean surface. And let's say you just have these little stones, right? And you're not sure quite what to do with them. Well, why not use them to create a crystal grid? These are really lovely. Like I said, if you got them from like a crystal healing bottle. And then let's go with that amethyst again. Let's just say that you want to do protection with the violet flame. Amethyst is really beautiful for violet flame protection. So I'm just going to make a little tiny grid here and simply place these around my center stone. There we go. And this one is kind of turning out to be more oval, which is totally fine too. You may enjoy that. And again, my intention is for violet flame healing. So every time I place one of these little ones around it, I am amplifying that energy of intention of violet flame protection for this one. When you're done, it's always really nice to give thanks. It's always really nice to show gratitude for the energy and for the time that you have created to make this time for yourself. Now you kind of have an idea of how to place your crystals. Remember, there is no wrong. If you feel like you want to do a square, you want to do an oval, it's totally okay. If you have a paper that has a printout of, say, the flower of life, you can use that, and every time there is a connection of the lines, you can place a crystal there, or you can place it in the center between them. Whatever works for you, really, there are no rules. So go ahead and happy crystal grid making, and if you want to do one for the full moon, set your intention that you are making this grid for this entire moon cycle, so that you can usher in those feelings of love or protection or healing, whatever it is that you are working on. I hope this has answered some of your crystal grid questions, how to make them, how to create them. What I did not include is your center focus. You can also do your lunar water. So if you're making some lunar water for the new moon or for the full moon, you can place your water at the center and do your crystals around them. Again, it does not have to be as elaborate as I make them. You are welcome to use what you have. You are welcome to use pieces of nature. It is all about your intention. So you are welcome to add pieces from your yard, or stones that you've picked up on a hike, or seashells you got at the beach. There really are no rules here. It's just all about your intention and what kind of vibe you want to bring into your life. I hope this has been helpful, and if you have any questions, go ahead, drop them below, and I'll do my best to get back to you on them. And gosh, I'll have some links on there, and at the end of this, I'll show you some examples of crystal grids that I have made for clients that maybe will give you some more inspiration on how to create something that you love. And just remember, there are no rules. It's all about your intention, and gratitude is the key here. So go ahead and take a moment to say thank you, gratitude to the universe, gratitude for your crystals, gratitude for yourself for taking this time to create. Wishing you all a wonderful day, and thank you for watching. Blessings.